Alright, let's go ahead and put together some nets of different polyhedrons, and we will come up with the polyhedron that the net is made up of. This is a net for a certain polyhedron. Can you guess which one? Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this net. When we assemble it, we'll be able to see which polyhedron it makes. If you take each of these little faces and you fold them along their edges, you can put it together and you will have a cube. And yes, I did go ahead and pre-make these because I knew I would not be able to do them as the camera was rolling. But if you go ahead and just fold up all of the different edges, you will get cube. Alright, we have another net here. Can you guess which polyhedron this net is? Can you guess which one it is? Let's take a look at the different faces. What shape are these faces? Can you look at them? What shape are these? They look like rectangles to me. Let's see if I would go ahead and fold them along the edges, if I'll get some polyhedron that's some sort of a rectangle. If I were to fold them and fold them up, fold, fold again, folding along all the edges. If I were to assemble this, as you can see, it's obviously not completely together, but this is what it would look like if it's completely together. What do you think this is called? We name the type of polyhedron by its faces. The shape of the faces here, they're rectangles. So this one is called a rectangular prism. Alright, this one is a really fun one. I found this one with all these little faces on it. I thought it was kind of cool. Anyways, let's take a look at the shape of the faces. The bottom here is one of the bases. What shape is this? It's 6 different sides. And it kind of says it on there. So if you look at both of them, there are 6 sides on this figure in the middle here and on this one. So that one's a hexagon. That one's a hexagon. Now if I were to fold these along all the edges, as you can tell, I'm trying to do this with one hand and hold the camera with the other. But if you fold these along all of the edges and assemble them, you will get a hexagonal prism. Let's take a look and see how many faces this has. Here's one of my bases. Here's the other one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has 6 different faces on it, plus the 2 faces, the top and the bottom. And we call it a hexagonal prism because of the shape of the bases. It is a hexagon, so that's why it's a hexagonal prism. Alright, now here comes a fun looking one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles. And let's see, what shape is this? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So its bases are pentagons. The faces are rectangles. I wonder if this is going to be another prism. If we put these together, they're named by their bases. So if the bases are pentagons, let's see, let's put it together. I think it might be a pentagonal prism. Let's put it together and see. I fold along all the edges again. And if I were to match all of them up, this is what I would get. It has rectangles for the faces, and the 2 bases are pentagons. So that's a pentagonal prism. Alright, let's continue our talk with prisms. If we name the prism by the bases, the shape of the bases, can you tell me what kind of prism this would be? Well, if I look at my bases, I have a triangle over here, a triangle over there. My bases are triangular, so I think it's going to be a triangular prism. Let's fold along the edges and find out. Okay, if I fold along the edges and put these all together, this is what I got. My bases are triangles. My faces are rectangles. This one, we name them by the bases, so it's a triangular prism. Alright, I think that's enough with prisms for a little while. Let's take a look at this one. What do you think this net is? What shape will it make? It has some triangles, it has a square. Let me think, if I fold them along all the edges here, on the dotted lines in here, now I have my base. If I look at the base down here, it's a square. If I were to fold all of these triangles up to the top and connect them, I would have this. Kind of looks like what you see in Egypt, huh? Those pyramids? What you see in the desert? It's a square pyramid. Okay, here is another net. I think this one's also going to be a pyramid because it has little triangles on the side. What do you think? What shape's the base? What shape is that in the middle? I see 5 different sides. Well, that's a pentagon. So I think this one's going to be a pentagonal pyramid. Let's put it together and see. Okay, if I put it together, put all these together, I have that. Okay, so this one is a pentagon on the bottom, so it's a pentagonal pyramid. Alright, enough with prisms. Let's take a look at this one. This one has some circles, has a rectangular and some circles. So, what in the world is this going to be? If I were to fold it, and put the top and the bottom, kind of looks like a can, doesn't it? Like a pop can or something? Okay. What is that? What's this called? It's a cylinder. This one is called a cylinder. It has 2 circles, and then 1 rectangle in the middle that's folded. When it's folded, it looks like a cylinder. Okay, here is my cube. I have 6 sides, 6 faces here, and there's squares. So I know on my net I'm going to have 6 squares. I have a top and a bottom, and I have a bunch of sides. Well, I know I have my top and the bottom. So here's my top and bottom. There's the top. Let's make the bottom. Now I have 6 faces altogether. Well, here's 2 of them. So I know I'm going to have 4 more. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This last one will close it. And if you were to fold that completely up, this is what you would get. Now let's take a look at a triangular prism. There's my triangular prism. Now I know I have 2 triangles, and I have 3 rectangles. 2 triangles, 3 rectangles. Let me go ahead and make my triangles. I got a triangle here, and I'm going to have a triangle down here. Now in the middle, I'm going to have 3 rectangles. There's 1, there's 2 rectangles, and there's 3 rectangles. And if I were to cut this out and fold it, we would have a triangular prism. One more. Let's talk about a cylinder. My cylinder has two circles for the top and bottom, and just one big rectangle in the middle that's folded. So I got my one circle here, one circle there, and let's draw a rectangle in the middle. And if I were to carefully cut that out, I would have a cylinder.